everybody, it's Alyce-Kay Ruckelshaus from Threshold of Hineni, still on my quest for the perfect angle and everything. So at least the camera's not swinging, and we'll get there eventually. I found that the table that I had moved to was not going to work because I had the sun shining straight in my face and it made too many shadows. So yeah, so that's not going to work. But anyway, so today we're just going to do a couple of fairly quick things because they're basically enrichments of things that we've already done. And so anyway, so let's go ahead and begin. Sorry, I'm a little flustered because I've had some difficulties with this morning. Anyway, so you remember the trifold pocket that we had? We had right here. Okay, so we did that. I want to show you something that I came up with like after doing this. I didn't make up this pocket, somebody else did. But then I was thinking about it the other night and I came up with this cool idea that I think is going to be really, really neat. And so anyway, so let's make another of the trifold pockets. And what you want to remember is that whatever you put on the inside of your first fold is what's going to be on the outside. Okay, so I kind of think I want this Hebrew to be on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that inside. And we're going to start out just the same as we did for the other pocket. And I went ahead before I got on camera and I trimmed my edges and distressed it and I zigzagged all around. And you know how I keep saying you don't have to sew this, you know, you can use glue. I don't know of anybody else who sews these pockets. That doesn't mean that there isn't anybody else, but I'm the only weirdo who does it. So don't feel like you have to. Okay, so you folded this in half. You're going to fold it in half again. Okay, and then we're going to do our pocket. So we're going to pull down this corner. Okay, crease it, and then we're going to pull down just one more. We're not going to do 3 folds, we're only going to do 2, and you'll see why in just a second. So we'll do 2 folds, and then we're going to take this and pull it out like this for a second. We're going to hold it up here, and I'm going to get my paper scissors and just cut to just beyond this corner right here. Okay, and what I'm doing as I'm cutting is I'm kind of pulling it down so that I get it right in the crease, but it doesn't matter if it's a little bit out of it. And you want to go just beyond that corner there so that it will fold really easily. Okay, you'll see what I mean in just a second. Okay, so I just went like just barely beyond that. Okay, then I've got it back like this. I've got it turned back like this, and now I can pull this out, just this one single one. I can fold it over, and it gives it kind of a cover for the pocket. And like I said when I showed you this, I just showed you examples of this, but I didn't show you how to do it. If you did this on cardstock, it would make a pretty cool greeting card, I think. And you could stick something, you know, like a gift card in here and something else in here, and maybe even tuck something up in here. So anyway, we've got all kinds of really fun stuff. Now you're going to want to glue or sew this all together, but don't do it yet, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some things that you can add on to this. And the other ones, I kept it really simple, but I just want you to see what else you can do to kind of decorate it. So see how this pocket here doesn't really show up because you've got this glue here? We can put some fabric or some paper or even some, like I've got black washi tape here. We could just put that along the edge to make it show up a little bit more. And this isn't really big enough, so I think I'm going to use the pink one. Ooh, although actually that might, no, I'm going to use that here. Okay, so I'm going to tear it so that it's going to be the right size for what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to distress it a little bit more. And I can either have it just cover the edge of that blue, or I can have it cover the whole thing so that it looks like, you know, that's what that pocket is. It looks like it's adding another whole color to it. I'm not sure which I want to do, so let me kind of play with it a bit here and figure that out. In fact, I can move this out of the way so that I can do that. I think I'm going to I think I'm going to go ahead and let it cover that whole thing. Now I could tear it off here and use those scraps in another project, like another belly flip, whatever, belly band. But I think what I'm going to do is just fold it over because that's just quicker. Okay, so it's quicker and easier. Okay, so now I've got this really cool little thing here. And I think I'm going to trim the corner where that comes together just a little bit so that it doesn't keep it from going all the way to the edge. And the same thing right here. Okay, so let's go back here. So this is going to be folded around like so. And then I would glue that, or I'm going to sew it. Okay, but first let's look and see how that looks. Okay, that looks kind of cool, right? I like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sew that on right there. And actually first I want to put some ink on the edges just to keep our old look consistent here. All right, get that out of the way. Get this out of the way, and I'm hoping that you guys can see what I'm doing when I'm sewing. Like I said, I may have to experiment with this quite a bit to find just the right way to do it, and I really, really appreciate that you all are so patient with me about all this. Okay, so I'm going to sew right along the edge because I don't want it to make it difficult to put something into the pocket. And I've got it on zigzag, and you can glue it. Probably a lot easier to just glue it. I just really like to sew. And since I want this to be special for me, I want it to be the way that I like it. Okay, so here we go. So we've got that tucked in there. Okay, so see how that shows up a lot more now? And we could even do something here if we wanted to. We can do something under here, which I think I will do a little bit of, just a little bit of this cheesecloth here. Okay, and I don't really want that to be a pocket. Well, I don't want to sew through all these layers, because if I sew through all these layers, then that pocket's only going to go that far. Okay, so I'm going to sew it to the back of this. And if I wanted to have it stick down, I would have to glue it down. Well, I guess I could actually, yeah, I could sew it right here. Sew it right through there. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Sorry, I'm thinking on my feet, guys. I like cheesecloth, and this is coffee stained cheesecloth. I like cheesecloth because it makes everything look kind of older and more ragged, and I love the ragged look. To me, that just looks like it's well used, well loved, like my Bible. Okay, all right, so there we go. So now we've got a pocket like this that we can open, ta-da, and then we've got all these pockets. But we don't want all this stuff to flip open. So you're going to either sew it like I'm about to do, or you can glue it right here and right here, and then also over here. Okay, like that. I'm going to sew it down here and then all the way around. Okay, so it's just going to take me a moment. And to me, zigzag just, to me it strengthens the paper. It does make it feel, to me, like when I move the paper around or I use those pockets, like they're not going to crumble. It just feels like they're sturdier. And I really want this to last. I'm hoping that it's not going to just be something that is for me, but that somebody in future generations in my family or otherwise finds it and feels like it's just a real treasure for them to discover all this stuff that I learned about Abraham and maybe definitely how I personally applied it, and you know, that it will really bless them. Okay, so here's what we've got. We've got this little booklet kind of thing here that we can open up, and you can journal right here. Okay, you can journal in here. You can stick something in here. This is a pretty big pocket. It goes really deep. Okay, and then you've got another pocket right here that goes really deep, so we can put in a journaling card or something here. Okay, the way that we'll put it on the page, we'll either leave this as an opening or we'll leave this side as an opening. I'm not sure. It depends on what page we put it on. So I have that, and then I made another belly band off camera. See this? Okay, so we're gonna put this in as well, and then we're done for the day. I have a really busy day. We've closed our store up in Tellico Plains, and we've got to get the rest of the stuff out of it. So let me see if the page opposite, yeah. I like to, when I've still got the book apart, it hasn't been sewn together yet, I really like to make the opposite side of that same sheet of paper kind of match the other one. You know, like if I have a pocket over here, then I have to do a pocket here. And that's just me. There's not really a good reason for it. It's just maybe my obsessive compulsive disorder. I think I've got a little bit of that going on. I like to have, as much as I like things to look like there's no pattern to them and like they're really haphazard, there really is a pattern to them. Okay, so which side do I want on the top? I think I want this on the top. Okay, so I'm just going to sew across the top and the bottom to just sew it in place. And you can use glue, or you can even staple. A lot of people staple their belly bands on. Okay, so feel free to staple it. Do I have that straight? Because I kind of do want it straight. Okay. So there we go on that side. And then it goes straight. Please tell me it's straight. Not exactly, but it's close enough. Okay. All right, and I start just a couple stitches before the actual belly band and go a couple stitches beyond it. There we go. Okay, so that's what it all looks like. Okay, and then we're going to put it back. There's that trifold pocket that we did before. Okay, and put it all back into the book. Okay, so now we want a place for this pocket, and I haven't figured that out ahead of time. I hope I'm not driving you guys crazy that I don't figure things out ahead of time, but I kind of want you to see my process of how I choose. I mean, like, you don't want to put it on the back. Well, if I'm gluing, I could put it on the back of this page here, and that might actually be really nice. I definitely want it on a right-hand page because it's going to open this way. Okay, so that's a possibility. Let's put my scissors there to kind of keep that place open. If I do that there, then I will glue it, not sew it. Kind of like that's there. Yep. Okay, we're gonna do it there, and we're gonna glue it, not sew it. So I'm gonna take this out, and I'll probably do another one over here, but I'll do that off camera. Okay, so I think I want to either make it so that there's an opening up here or from the side. I think I want to make it from the side. I need more things sticking out the side here. So, okay, so I'm going to mark which side I'm not going to put glue on. Putting a little arrow there. Okay, see, I just put a little tiny arrow. This isn't going to show because this is going to be against the paper, but that way I don't glue it shut, because I have glued it shut a few times, which isn't the end of the world because you've got all the other pockets there, but it doesn't give you as much as you could have. Trying to figure out how to keep this in camera, sorry. It doesn't give you as much, you know, writing space as you could have if you had an opening for another journaling card there. So I like to leave things open as often as I can. Okay, and I'm not putting tons of glue. You all remember that. And I'm going to go back with not squeezing, but just with the nozzle and smooth it out so it doesn't make glops that stick out on the other side of the page and make it hard to journal on, although I think there's a pocket on the other side of the page anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so here we are, and we're going to open it up so that I can see the actual edge that I'm doing. I know that I can go all the way to the edge on this because obviously with the cheesecloth there, we're not going to have a flip out. Plus this is close to the beginning of the book, so I don't think that I'm going to have a flip out there anyway. Okay, so these are the edges that I glued right there. This edge here is open. Okay, so we can put in a nice big card right here later on that can come the whole length of this. Okay, and then this closes, which makes for a very cool little thing on our page. Okay, so I'm going to put the other pages back inside, make sure that they're right side up. Make sure that this is right side up. And there we go. So that's that page. Let me just close this and get it back in my twine so it doesn't all run to the bottom. Okay, so there it is. I've got these two pockets, and I've got this right across from it that opens up and provides us with a pocket here, and a nice big pocket here that we can pull stuff out from. Okay, so that's pretty cool, right? All right, you guys, we are getting really close to binding this. I just have a few more things that I want to put in before we bind it, and once we bind it, then we'll be making cards and stuff to go in all these pockets that we've made. So that won't take too many videos. I'll show you some basic things, and then I'll leave it to you to make as many pockets as, as many cards and stuff as you want. All right, I love you all, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.